This is 100 Hours, 100 Stars, the biggest non-stop tribute to COVID-19 warriors. And with this initiative, we are aiming to generate maximum donations for PM Cares Fund, which is a national dedicated fund with objectives of dealing with extreme distress events like the pandemic, which is at hand, which we are fighting. And of course, people can click on the link which is mentioned below at the of the video, or they can scan the QR code. And once the window opens, they should proceed to follow, and they should put in their names, fill in their details, and of course, amount they want to contribute, and then proceed to make the donation. Because there are 2.2 million healthcare workers, 1.4 million police personnel, and I don't know how many sanitation workers and others who are fighting tirelessly. And with this initiative, we are bringing you 100 hours of movie stars, filmmakers, industrialists, fitness experts, startup enthusiasts, everybody who you should know about. And today I have a very special person, Mr. Vishal Gondal. Hi, how are you? He is a fitness expert. He is the father of Indian video games. We will get to that. That is a very interesting thing. And well, he's the founder of GOQII. A lot of things. How old are you? How much to achieve it?
Well, all I can say is that you always have to be young at heart. And the way to be young at heart is always be a student and always be a learner. And I've been a learner all my life. In fact, we were talking about the headstand. Somebody challenged me that I cannot do that. And I learned doing a headstand on my own in 3 months.
In 3 months you did it. I mean, I think I will take 3 months just to gather the courage of dreaming about it, that, one day, with these Skype video interviews that we're doing, I'm just seeing the effect of quarantine on me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've become so round that you cannot differentiate the height and width from height and width on me now. So yeah, I think somebody should challenge me so that I also get that motivation. How do you get motivated for fitness? Just because somebody challenged you?
So, like I said, that I think with COVID-19, one thing people have realized that all the money you may have, all the wealth you may have, it's of absolutely no use. Today, the only way to protect yourself is by having good health. And I think immunity, which we talk about, is what is immunity? It is nothing but your lifestyle, which includes your food habits, your sleeping habits, your nutrition, your workout, etc. So today, when we talk about in the future, when we talk about billionaires and we'll say Forbes list of people who have most money, all that lists are going to be not of any more use. We're now talking of people who have good health and who have the highest level of immunity. Yeah. So I think it's a lifestyle change. And in my case, my story, to kind of put it in a nutshell, I started India's biggest gaming company. I was a national volleyball player, fit and athletic. But gaming company ended up, India Games ended up becoming the biggest games company. But I was 130 kilos. And I became a volleyball myself. So it was a big challenge. And that's when I decided that, I need to get fit. And then I bought wearables, I joined the gym, I did diets, and nothing worked. And the reason it was not working is because I used to do it for a few weeks and then get busy again and travel.
What I go through as well. So how did it change?
So it changed is when I met a local coach who told me, WhatsApp me every day, whatever you're eating, photo leke bhejo. Tell me what you're doing and I'll tell you what to do. I said, okay, let's try it. And he used to message me, today you ate this, no, abhi ek kaam karo, 5 surya namaskar karo, abhi aapne ye kiya, to ye karo. So he used to constantly give me feedback. And that is when, in fact, 2011 is when I started my journey. And now I have done 14 half marathons, 4 ultra marathons. I was on Everest base camp. And I was able to make a lifestyle change. And actually, I'm going to tell you the secret of that. The secret of a lifestyle change is not data or information, it is motivation. I think what people lack is motivation. And if you have the motivation, you can achieve anything. And in fact, in today's world, everybody out there, all the best courses in the world are available for free. University of Harvard, Stanford, IIT, all courses are for free. You can go and do it. What people lack is the motivation. And the best example of motivation is what I give people is when we talk about, since Ramayana and Mahabharata are playing on television,
yes.
If you really see Dronacharya, right? Eklavya learned the art of archery by just having a putla of Dronacharya put across.
Yes.
That was his motivation. So the point really is that you don't need to be physically in a classroom, in an office, in a gym, anywhere. Your mind can imagine you to be wherever you are. And if you have the right motivation, you can achieve whatever you feel like achieving. I think that's really the secret to success.
So was it this motivation that even led to finding of GOQII? How did
And
Go?
yeah, and that was the idea, right? So when I saw that, the idea was that ये सब फालतू जिम विम का कोई फायदा नहीं है. What you need is a coach. What you need is a guide who tells you what to do. And that's when I combined wearable devices with health coaches. And that's how we created the GOQII model, where we said that what you pay for is a subscription service. And remote coaching we launched in 2014. Remote workouts हमने तब से चालू किया. आज सब लोग remote workout कर रहे हैं. And believe me, we have data that remote workout is more effective than the real world workout, because that cuts away all the faltu things which you have to go to the gym, talk to 20 other people. So here you can, if you just focus into 20 minutes of workout, that's better than going to a gym and spending 1 hour, because you are focused on doing it. Another thing and another hack actually for everybody out there. So the crux of motivation, how do you get motivated and how do you lose motivation? That comes from what is called willpower.
Yeah.
And सब लोग बोलते हैं मेरे में विल पावर बहुत कम है. करेक्ट, सब लोग बोलते हैं मेरे में विल पावर बहुत कम है. मैंने भी यही बोला था, आप भी यही बोल रही हैं. But willpower actually is a muscle which can be exercised and improved and made more stronger. And the secret to make it more stronger is to reduce the number of decisions you take in your life every day. So let me give you an example. We were talking that why do I wear red t-shirt?
Nobody's ever told me this thing that willpower is a muscle that can be made stronger. I've heard it for the first time and it sounds very happy.
And the way you do it is by reducing the number of decisions you take. And let me give you an example. I decided 5 years back I'm only going to wear red t-shirts and red shoes. That's it. So I don't have any other color clothes. The only reason I don't have red pants is because my wife would kill me otherwise. But so I have simplified my life with clothes. I only have 5 t-shirts and that's it. I don't have to worry forever on what clothes to wear. And people spend days and hours and shop so much of different kinds of clothes and patterns. The point really is that it is utilizing your decision-making willpower.
Yeah.
The second thing, what you eat for breakfast. Every day people are worried about मैं क्या खाऊं. For me, for several years, my only breakfast is what is called bulletproof coffee, which is coffee, black coffee with butter or ghee. You add 2 spoons of ghee in that coffee. It tastes outstanding. I know it sounds yucky, but people out there, try. If you have not tried bulletproof coffee, you're missing something in life.
Is this a self-made dish? Delicacy coffee? Like what?
No, bulletproof coffee is being very popular. It's actually the old trend when started by the Tibetan monks, where they used to drink butter tea.
Butter tea, yes.
Modified it to bulletproof coffee. And the best thing about bulletproof coffee is that I have it like at 8 or 9 in the morning. And then I directly have lunch. So I do intermittent fasting. So I don't eat in the morning. My breakfast is this bulletproof coffee. Then I have lunch at 1, dinner at 8, and that's it. Then I basically do fasting of 8, 16 and 8. So 8 hours from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. is my eating window. When I eat, I can have 2 or 3 meals during this time. And then 8 se leke next din 1 baje tak, don't eat anything. And believe me, your mind, it's this all thing is that that you have to eat breakfast, lunch and dinner does not, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ये सब ब्रेकफास्ट कंपनीज ने आपको बोला है कि आपको ब्रेकफास्ट करना जरूरी है. You can easily skip breakfast and directly go to your lunch, and that gives a chance to your body to regenerate.
You have totally smashed my dreams. I mean, the only thing which I dream of like while waking up is like this breakfast on the other end.
So breakfast can come at 1 p.m. Nobody is telling you don't have breakfast. The idea is that don't have it in that window. मतलब 1 बजे खा लो, you can have breakfast at 1 p.m. Nobody is stopping you from doing that. The point is that give your body 16, you don't start with 16, start with 12 hours and then increase it to 16 hours. So 16 hours is the best optimum time to do this fasting. And this gives you extreme energy. The third hack is when I said reduce the number of decisions you take. So just think about it, right? कभी कभी हम लोग सब लोग ये जो सुन रहे हैं, आप ऑफिस जा रहे होते हो, अभी तो सब लोग लॉकडाउन में, सब जो आप ऑफिस जा रहे होते हो, तो ऑफिस जाते वक्त आप कितने डिसीजन लेते हो? अभी क्या कपड़े पहने, क्या खाएं, किससे फोन पे बात करें? Every time you take a decision, it depletes your willpower. And by the time the day is ending, your willpower is the lowest, which is why दिन सुबह सब लोग डाइट कर सकते हैं, पर रात भर आते आते लोग बोलते हैं चलो छोले भटूरे खा लेते हैं या कोई मिठाई खा लेते हैं. Because willpower depletes, because it's a muscle. Every time you're taking a decision, it depletes your willpower. So now the way to hack it is कॉन्शियसली से मैं डिसीजन कम करूंगा. एंड उसका एक दूसरा वे ये है, जैसे ब्रेकफास्ट या लंच में आपको क्या खाना है, एक हफ्ते पहले ही डिसाइड कर लो कि मंडे को ये खाना है, ट्यूसडे को ये खाना है, वेडनेसडे को ये खाना है. तो आपको डिसाइड नहीं करना है कि कोई मेन्यू देता है ऑफिस में आके भी बताओ क्या खाओगे आप.
What about last minute cravings? Like suddenly you want to have something else. What about that? The last minute craving.
Decide in advance that if I have craving, these are the 3 things I'm going to eat. Decide it in advance. Basically, the point is, do not
Cheat brain into thinking that these were your options, and then by default it picks from those.
Exactly. So what happens is you are reducing what is called cognitive load on your brain, and there's a lot of science behind it. So if you reduce cognitive load, think about it. Your brain is a computer. आप उसको बार बार प्रोसेसिंग करा रहे हो कि भैया क्या समोसे में खाऊं, क्या टॉपिंग्स लूं, स्टारबक्स कॉफी के अंदर क्या क्या चीजें डालें हम. Your brain is also a computer. It is getting overloaded, and by the time it's evening, it's blasting out because you have overloaded it with decision making.
So this is how GOQII helps everyone.
This is our philosophy. So again, GOQII is a lifestyle platform. We call ourselves a preventive lifestyle platform because what is preventive healthcare? Preventive healthcare is where what your medicine is. Food is your medicine. If you consider, now imagine आपको गोलियां खानी है लाइफ भर कि आपको अच्छा खाना खाना है, which becomes your medicine. So if you just eat the right food, eat it in the right balance, of course you can indulge, you can eat chocolates and cakes, but again the point is balance. And then if you complement it with the right amount of physical activity, however, the most important part of physical well-being, by the way, is sleep. If your sleep is affected, nothing else is going to work. So people listening out here, we all talk about mental health and all of that. The first indication of poor mental health is bad sleep. If you are not getting more than 5 to 6 hours of sleep right now, you have a mental health problem. Of course, the variation may differ.
Yeah, but with the kind of lifestyle that we have, the kind of jobs that we have, sometimes it does become difficult to, get that kind of sleep. Our job.
But why? The simple thing is sleep is the most natural thing anybody can do. And there are again ways to hack sleep. For example, your phone is constantly telling you, give me attention. Every time you get a notification, it's asking for your attention, and it's all useless attention. Today, WhatsApp is the bigger virus than coronavirus. So the point is, after 9 p.m., put it on airplane mode or switch off all notifications and keep your phone at least 5 meters away from you. Social distancing अपने phone से करना भी जरूरी है. अपने phone से social distancing कीजिए हर रात को 8-9 बजे या 10 बजे के बाद. That is important. Second thing is, don't have caffeine in the evening. Avoid having 5 बजे के बाद ज़्यादा चाय, coffee, because it stimulates, caffeine is not good for sleep.
Well, 7 o'clock tea with some snacks. I mean, that is very common.
That's common. So, of course, it is going to affect your sleep.
That's
right? So you
lifestyle change.
That's the thing. So just consciously don't have after 4 baje, don't have tea or coffee. There are other options. You can have decaf coffee, but I'm just saying you can very easily do that. The third thing is, and this is again a very interesting hack. We all talk about meditation. Meditation is सब लोग meditate करो. पर उसका भी मेरे पास एक hack है. So I'm a tech gamer, right? So we only know how to hack things. So one hack is, and please Google this, write it down. It's called binaural beats. Have you heard of binaural beats? Binaural beats are on any music platform, YouTube, Savan, Spotify. This is the kind of music which is programmed with different frequencies. And when you put it on a headphone and you listen to it for 20 minutes, it gives you the same effect what you would have of meditation. And there are binaural beats designed to help you sleep. So you can actually listen to this for 20 minutes and your brain will get triggered that, bhaiya, abhi so jao. So this is very, very effective binaural beats. Similarly, there is something called ASMR. ASMR music is also very, very effective for sleep. So you can do all these techniques and train your body to go to sleep at the right time.
Actually,
And
this
then,
will be very helpful because so many people right now are complaining about bad sleep cycle in quarantine. They're like, oh, our sleep cycle is bad. We can't sleep on time. We can't wake up on time. So I think this will come in very handy.
absolutely. So that's what I said. So binaural beats and ASMR music are two very, very important ways anybody can just use a simple music to help you sleep. So there are a lot of different ways you can do it. And that's what I said, right? I think the mind is so much more powerful than the body.
Yeah.
And right now, like I said, the bigger impact of COVID is not on the body, it's on the mind. And minds of not just us. I really, my heart goes out to our healthcare workers and our frontline people, because they are in the front line. They are having so many anxieties. They are having so many things. They can't go back to their families. So I'm just saying that right now, for every one of them, whichever God you pray, it's a thing which will calm you down, because for that 10 minutes you are not thinking about what is coming on Twitter or what is coming on somewhere else. Similarly, I think this is also a time, do not indulge in any kind of junk. And when I say any kind of junk, I'm talking about junk food and junk content. Because junk food is what you are feeding your stomach, and junk content is what you're feeding your mind.
Shall you cancelled my quarantine, man? That's all my quarantine has all been about, like junk food and junk content.
Exactly.
That's ouch, junk food, junk content.
So if you are consuming junk food and junk content, the result of that is going to not be that great. But it's very easy to move away from junk food and junk content. For example, there are so many TED videos, there are documentary shows on every platform. So the idea you have to ask is, when you look at a piece of content, is, did you learn something new? Because like I said, your brain, if you learn something new, what happens is new neurons are created in your brain. That's actually good. And one of the good ways to create new neurons is to learn a new language, actually. That is the best way. People say, how can you keep your brain young? Is to constantly learn. That is the way to keep your brain young. And once again, the best way to learn is to learn a new language. And right now, there are apps like Duolingo, which is a game which you can play to learn so many languages.
Yeah, I had tried learning Spanish from there. I know about that app. Also, Vishal, you were talking about meditation. So I was thinking, you must be a champ at doing that for such a long time, and then letting it go as well. So I was thinking, you and I should have a face-off. I should know my reality. Like, how bad am I at it? And I should know how good you're at it. So wanna start? We can time each other how much time we can take that breath in for, while saying, oh, why don't you go first? But I'll just follow suit.
I think instead of saying Om, there is a better suggestion, better idea which I have for you, which what we can do is, the deal is, you have to hold your breath. And hold your breath, and I will hold it, and then you count, and you give me a countdown, and then when I give up, then I will give you a countdown and you hold. So that's easy. Right. You don't need to say anything, right? Because this becomes even more easier. And if people who can, because this, by the way, makes your lungs stronger. So let's do the holding. So let me start. Let's try and target 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Okay.
I was thinking 2 seconds will be too much for me. All right. No, let's see how longer you can.
Let's start with 60 seconds. Okay.
So you go first.
Okay, I'm going.
Okay. And I have a timer in 3 seconds gone. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. My gosh. Okay, 36, 37, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. I lost you. I lost the video. Are you there? Oh my gosh! But you managed a minute and 5 and minute and 10 seconds, something like that. My gosh! And that was
So
very
now,
easy. Okay, so I'm starting at 3:20, like 6 seconds to go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 45. Not bad for the first attempt.
Oh gosh, it's not easy. Like
No,
you take a breath so granted, and when you hold it, you know how important it is. We should work for every breath that we take in.
No, and like I said, this is how you exercise your lungs, and everybody out there, this is a very good, anybody can do it anywhere they are. Just hold your breath and count how long can you do it and keep improving it every day.
Apart from fitness, GOQII is right now very actively helping even COVID-19 fighters, right? You're doing something for them as well. What is it?
So right now we are running this thing called Health Quiz Corona. So you can download our app and take a health quiz. This is all around good health. And when you do this quiz, you get karma points and you donate points. And we have partnered with Bajaj Allianz. They are donating food and all these things to the migrant workers. We are donating masks. So all you have to do is download the GOQII app and just take a quiz and learn. Like I said, learn. That is food for your brain. The way you improve your brain or make it better is by learning. And that's what you do, learn and donate.
That is amazing. So GOQII is basically an overall helper in every situation. They're helping with your lifestyle, and right now they're helping so many people who are affected by it. And well, that is exactly the initiative is all about as well. 100 hours, 100 stars to help generate donations for PM Cares Fund, which will help in such distress situations later on. And 100 hours, 100 stars is the longest tribute.
In fact, one of the other very interesting things I want to tell you about why donation is very important for people.
Yes.
So I'll just go to a little bit of a science. So human brain has these 5 chemicals. One is called dopamine.
Yes.
Other is called endorphins.
Yeah.
Third is oxytocin, and the fourth is called serotonin. And there is a fifth one, which is the bad chemical, which is cortisol.
Oh, cortisol.
So how do you get dopamine? Dopamine is when you do something and you get a...
That's happy one, right?
For example, the worst use of dopamine is Facebook. So when you get a like, it gives you a dopamine. Or when you get a notification, that is giving you dopamine, and then you are seeking for more and more and more.
Yes.
So it's actually kind of a good or a bad chemical, but a lot of people exploit dopamine addiction. The second is endorphins, which is again very good. Endorphins happen when you do physical activity.
Yes.
When you exercise. And endorphins are also very feel good, when it feels really good after exercising.
Yes.
The third is oxytocin. So oxytocin is actually one of the primary ingredients of a lot of the antidepressants. And oxytocin is when you love somebody and respect somebody, like your parents, teachers, brothers, friends. So this is when you do something together as a group. That gives you oxytocin. So think about a team which wins a match. Even the coach is happy, and all the people supporting it are also feeling so happy.
Yes.
You've not done anything. You're watching it on TV, and Indian cricket team won, and you're all happy because that is oxytocin. And oxytocin is possibly, and which is why it is important to celebrate good things and become part of organizations and groups, because you get the whole group's goodness into you. So when we support your initiative, we are all getting oxytocin. However, the strongest drug of all is serotonin. And serotonin is actually what even Bill Gates is addicted on. It's the drug of donation. So when you do something good for somebody else, now anything for yourself in return, that is what gives you serotonin. And serotonin is the ultimate drug, ultimate high. The only way to get it is to give, and give. And the good thing is, even if you are even if witness somebody doing something good, you feel good about it. That's why, when you see these videos where somebody is doing a good deed, you suddenly
feel so good about watching those videos, and just on commenting, we feel so good. Yes.
It is also secreting serotonin in people. So the act of viewing an act of kindness also generates serotonin. Can you believe that? So
we're taking second-hand serotonin then. We're not doing it ourselves, but we're just taking in second hand.
Exactly. So serotonin, first hand is when you do it yourself, and this time with your opportunity, with your initiative and the initiative here, people can donate serotonin. And also all the other people doing it, and that will give you a collective. And serotonin and oxytocin are, by the way, the two key ingredients in antidepressants. So they're trying to give this to you artificially, while you can get this by becoming kinder, by becoming part of, volunteer organizations. And the worst chemical is cortisol. Cortisol is when you secrete when you are in danger. It is the fight or flight hormone. It was basically there, when you were under danger or attack. And when you get cortisol, what happens is your body tells कि मैं attack में हूँ, सब कुछ store करो. So fat store कर लो, सब कुछ store कर लो, and so that is when your body gets into the cortisol mode. It stores everything. So even if you're exercising and doing everything.
Oh, it's not panda bears, sorry. Polar bears must have it, right? When they go in hibernation and when they put in a lot of everything then.
So cortisol actually is the enemy. So what you want to do is get the other four chemicals somehow in your body every day, and make sure you do not get into the cortisol mode. So I know it's too much of science for too many people, but I was just trying to tell that hey, when you say donation karo acha hai, actually there is a scientific proof behind it.
Yes, and how to get that serotonin, just click on the link below or scan the QR code, and the window will open. Fill in your details and the amount you want to contribute to PM Cares Fund, and feel better after that donation, because you're helping your nation, you're helping so many out there who are helping you. So you've been cooking a lot. We've been following you on social media, and we see that you're putting in a lot of effort in the kitchen as well. So I wanted to play this game with you, where you have to guess the dish by the description I will give you of it. So are you ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let me just open it where I had saved it. Okay. So tell me, this food, which is very common in Indian households, and it's a fairy tale food which almost got Goldilocks killed. What is it?
Fairy tale food which almost got Goldilocks
killed. Remember Goldilocks and the three bears, and she had gone and she ate something? Or was it?
Porridge.
Yes, it's porridge. Yes, it's porridge. Okay, not bad. Second one. So this is something which girls are teased about a lot, that they love it too much. Crispy and hollow spheres of pastry filled with chickpeas, chilies, boiled potato, and some spiced water.
Pani puri.
Yes, it's pani puri. My gosh.
I just had it yesterday.
Really? Where are you having it? Did you make it?
No, luckily we are getting a lot of things delivered.
Oh, yes, that's happening. All right. Third one, a common dish at home, roasted and mashed aubergines with tomatoes, chilies, onions. Yes, bangan ka bharta. I thought you would have given up on such food because you're such a healthy person, and
bharta is very healthy.
You're not cooking it with a lot of oil then.
It depends on what oil, right? It depends on, there are certain oils which are good oils. So, don't use any of these, peanut oil, coconut oil is a very good medium to cook all these things.
Really? I thought it was not considered very good for heart. Is it?
Coconut oil, ghee are two very good fats. I would highly recommend people to seriously look at these.
My last one, cottage cheese dumplings dipped in sugar syrup.
Rasgulla, cottage cheese dumplings. Huh?
Yes. See, this is a fancy way of, selling our own dishes to them. And before you leave, I have to ask, okay, when I was reading that you had the video game company, you sold it for, I'm sorry, this is available on Wikipedia. I didn't have to research a lot for that one. 100 million deal? How much is that money? I mean,
Nothing. Listen, what is the use of all the money, right? The point is that, like I said, money is of no use.
Person, what is the use of all this money?
The use of all this money is to make sure we are able to help the world become even better, which is why I invested a lot of that into making GOQII. And now with GOQII, our mission is to make 130 crore Indians healthy, which we are, and then hopefully extend this to other parts of the world. And I think, like I said, we have the magic formula of making everybody healthy. And the magic formula is you. That's it. You have to make the effort and fix the 5 things I talked about, which is sleep, nutrition, activity, cognition. Feed your brain not junk but good food. And finally, it's about happiness. And happiness comes when you do things for others.
Yes.
So these are the 5 things. If
You're
people
getting
can
serotonin then, right? Vishal's getting a lot of serotonin. My last question to you, what is the first thing you're going to do once the lockdown is lifted?
Once the lockdown is lifted, I want to go and run on Marine Drive. That's one of my favorite places to go for a run. I love the energy out there. And if you are in Mumbai, I think, and in Delhi, I love running near the India Gate. But I think in Mumbai, the energy at Marine Drive when you're running next to the whole Queen's Necklace and the people.
I can imagine the running must be an amazing feeling. All right. I really do hope that very soon you get to run next to Marine Drive. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Take care. And like I said, reduce the number of decisions you take and you will go to another level.
That's for myself as well. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, it's 100 hours, 100 stars. Over the next 100 hours, we are reintroducing you to 100 superstars from various walks of life. And none better than my brother from another mother, GK. Gaurav Kapur, welcome to the show, man.
Brother, what? So you couldn't find a star for today, so you decided to find me instead.
Actually, Chinnappa and you were the first 3 people I thought of. So it might interest you.
Chinnappa and me are the first 3 people. Which one of us is the split personality?
2 out of the 3 people I thought of. So, in fact, I just finished one with him. So, this is you immediately after Chin-Ups.
Chinnappa, so you know that Chinnappa is actually 2 people, right? Chinnappa is 2 people. There is one Chinnappa who is at home. There is what I call the civilian Chinnappa. The civilian Chinnappa is, bro, you want something to eat, bro? Just change the channel, bro. And then there's the in uniform Chinnappa, right? When he has to go on air, right? When he has to go on air. And then he puts on all his rings and his dark glasses.
Oh my God, that's exactly what happened right now. There was a conversation like this. And then when I hit record, it became...
Hey, what's up? Like, calm down, brother. Matlab, hatti-vatti khisak jayegi yaar.
Mandatories, guys. On the screen, you'll see a QR code and a link. Please scan the QR code or click on the link and then proceed to contribute. Fill in the amount and your payment details, and everything goes to the PM Cares Fund, the Prime Minister Cares Fund, which is for all our COVID-19 warriors on the front line, our healthcare workers who are working for us. So, man, how are you taking to this lockdown? Have you taken to it like fish to water? But you seem to be more busier than ever before.
Yeah, what I don't like is that, what I like is that I love working from home anyway. I like being at home. Office is 1 kilometer from home. So I like that little, thoda age ke saath, this whole running around and flights and traffic, you like it a little less. But the problem is now you can't make that excuse that, hey, I'm traveling, so I can't come for your shoot.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm stuck in traffic, so I can't come for your shoot. How will I go from this studio to that studio in the same day? I can't do it. Now, it's like 11 to 1, you do one shoot, 1 to 2, another shoot, 2 to 3, another shoot, because all you have to do is effectively get a bottle of water and go again. So that's a bit of a. So that's the only sort of dampener. But I quite like. I've quite liked being at home. But I think that this connects also to the thing you said previously about donating. And I think we're all very fortunate. We have a roof over our head. We have food in our fridge. We don't have to worry about things that a lot of other people who are not as privileged as us and lucky as us have to worry about. So I think it's very important for all of us to donate, and it's not about big sums. Even if it's about there is a guard or a watchman, there are essential services people who are around you. There are people who are delivering stuff to you, whether it's food, vegetables, packages. If you can do anything for them, anything from a packet of biscuits to a slightly bigger tip than you would usually give, a loaf of bread when you're going to buy your vegetables and fruit, and you come back with, whether it's bananas. It's just small, simple gestures if you can do. It doesn't matter how much you're giving. What matters is the sort of the thought, the empathy, and the compassion in your heart. So I think that's very important. And I don't think any of us can really complain about the lockdown, bro. I mean, look at us here. Yeah, we're all privileged and fortunate. We don't have food anxiety. We don't have, to worry about a roof over our head. There's people who have serious, genuine problems. So I get very hassled by people who say they're getting bored right now.
So, it's interesting when I ask people what is the skill set that they've developed or worked upon. Like, for example, Ashish Hemrajani said, I am baking bread every day, different kinds of bread. Dabu Radnani said, man, I've not backed up my work for ages. So all my old photo shoots, I'm digitizing them and taking backups on my drives. Nikhil said that he's working on children's stories, stories and this and that. Yeah. So in the midst of all this crazy milieu of shooting and this and that, is there a skill set that you worked upon in lockdown? Something that...
Yeah, bro, quite a few. I've actually designed a building, a monument, which has been the tallest building in Mumbai. Then I've got an astrophysics degree. I've composed a sonnet and one symphony. I've learned 6 languages, learning my 7th right now. Learned how to play the piano, self-taught from YouTube. Sorry, this is me making fun of everyone who's like, hey dude, man, lockdown, we're a Michelin star chef. Just only do things that you will do after this lockdown is over as well. That's your genuine interest. What I really enjoyed doing, and I always enjoyed doing, was cooking. I was never very proficient at it because I hadn't spent too much time at it. Now I'm getting to spend time at it, so I think my cooking has just become better. The problem with all of us who are cooks, who are higher in enthusiasm than talent, is the food shows have ruined us. So what takes regular people 30 minutes to cook, or proficient people 30 minutes to cook, takes me 1 hour. See, because mise en place has to be, right? Everything has to cut and chop and then put it together and measure and all. Whereas good cooks are just going, putting. So somebody asked me the other day, they say, why did it take you 1.5 hours to make a pasta? It's like, but chop the garlic. Should take you half an hour max. I'm like, yeah. So I'm trying to improve my speed, just my instinct with cooking. I haven't gone as far as to learn to bake bread or anything, because that's just crazy level of commitment that I don't have. But I have learned how to make fish and things with shrimp, vegetables. So I am learning pizza. I tried to make pizza dough the other day. Came out fantastic. It had the texture of a slipper and the taste of socks.
I'm very impressed. So do you have a domestic help who lives with you, or do you do the grocery runs yourself? Are you going once or twice a week outside, or is it being delivered downstairs and you bring it up and sanitize it? Just how you're going about your groceries and essentials?
2 things. So there's 2. One, of course, the domestic help we had, which was a housekeeper, has a younger brother in the city who would have been left alone to fend for himself, who would not have been able to. He's a student. So on day 1 itself, he told a housekeeper, you should go and you should be with him. Then we have a cook who was in his village in UP and who said, "Bhaiya, aap akele hain, main aata hu train par." मैंने कहा बैठो तुम, ठीक है, नहीं जाओगे, तुम घर पे बैठो अपनी family के साथ. So sort of, on our own, and that's fine, because it also helps you realize that you don't really need all the things that you thought you needed, right? you don't need to eat fancy meals all the time. You can eat for nutrition and sustenance more than always being a glutton for taste. So that's one thing. Your first question. The second is getting stuff is luckily just about 50 meters down the road from Pali Naka. So tend to go in the afternoon with my mask and gloves and hairband and eye collar and covered completely. And there's nobody in the afternoon buying fruits and vegetables. So luckily I have the place, both the stores to myself, get the stuff come. Any deliveries that happen in our building, they're put on the desk in the reception. And again, contactless, go down, get it up, sanitize everything, throw the boxes away, wash everything. So being very careful. Again, that, it can come from anywhere, right? But all we can do is take as many precautions as we can.
So, man, this Isolation Premier League idea is just fabulous. I mean, was it just you and Nirav Ghosh waking up one fine day and, the team at Oak Tree saying, we've got some time, so let's reach out to our friends who are at home and try and do this? Or did you plan it like a, regular show and then it just fructified into this because of what happened? Where did that come from, man?
So we were just sitting, we were doing a call just as this lockdown happened. Luckily, I could foresee about a week ago that this was going to get bad. So a week before the lockdown happened, we ordered a work from home for Oak Tree Sports. So we got 25 people. So everybody, we said, work from home. In fact, over the next few days, come in slots and pick up your stuff and go home and set it up. So edit, music, VFX, everything could get set up. People were set up from home because we had no idea how long this would be, what would happen. I don't think anyone did. So first idea was, let's just do something because, the team needs to be occupied. They need to feel motivated. If you're just sitting every day and doing nothing, it can just drive you a little crazy in, small Mumbai houses, which you're sharing with, people sometimes. So if you just have 4-5 hours of work to do a day, it just keeps you sort of mentally sane. It really started with that. Then we thought, let's revisit some of our old ideas. I'd always had this idea, and I've always been fascinated by whenever you ask sports people about their good days, it's amazing what all they remember, right? They just sort of seem to know it all. So we said, why don't we do something which is asking these guys about the things they've done in the IPL, which will give people some nostalgia. The IPL had to be on right now. It's not happening. Some stories will come out. It'll just give people something. We literally on a Zoom call came up with this idea. And I said, we don't want to do it as a live. Everyone and their aunties and uncles are doing Instagram live. Right? 5 in the evening should be, instead of called 5 o'clock, it should be called live o'clock because that's it. It's just red circles. Right? We said, let's give people, we can't give people a complete experience like we would if we shot it. Let's give them as close to that as possible. I threw this challenge out to the team. In 72 hours, we had the first episode up with Dinesh Karthik. First episode up. We figured out how to shoot it with Zoom, sound, cleanup, music, made the VFX, made the design elements, made the research, everything. All I had to do was call Dinesh. He agreed. He loved to have some fun. We did it. So, and that's how it just started. And I think the name just caught on, because we were playing on IPL. So we said, Isolation Premier League. And it just caught on. So now we're thinking, we won't limit ourselves to 20 questions. We can just have a power play with somebody with just 6 questions. We can do a T10. Sometimes some fans complain saying, Ashwin's questions are very difficult. Chahal's questions are difficult. UV's questions are very easy. I'm like, bhaiyo, ye UPSC ka exam nahi hai. This is like whose line is it anyway? The points are all made up and they don't matter. Just have fun and listen to some stories. So yeah, to answer your question, it came from 2 things. One was the need to keep the team occupied and to give something to our viewers, to give slightly differentiated quality product. And the other thing was that we've still got to make things and sort of put them out and so one for our team. And the second for our viewers. So those were the 2 reasons why we sort of came up with this.
Yeah, and you've got a whole fun bunch of personalities. who do you, just a few of the guys? I mean, I know as a producer, each episode is like a child of yours. You can't say this was better than the other, but I'm just saying, just some fun moments from the Isolation Premier League.
I hate all the episodes equally. You're right. They are like my children.
So, just fun stuff that happened, man, in Isolation Premier League. I mean, stuff that just comes off the top of your head.
I think one of the funniest was with Amit Mishra. Because he's too sweet, man. Mishi is such a sweet man. And he was, there he is, he had gone to his parents' house. So the internet is not good there, right? So the guy actually moved 4 locations trying to find internet. Arey, suno, mujhe 2 minute aur do yaar, main dhoondta hu. And then finally he sat in one corner of the kitchen where the internet was the clearest. And then he turns it around and see what I was doing before you guys called. And there was a plate of sabzi that he was cutting. He had caught. That was quite cute. Then who else? One of my favorites was in the Ashwin episode where his daughter just comes in, right? So we're chatting, and what did I ask him? I asked him what's the pin code of the Chennai Stadium, of the Chidambaram Stadium. What's the pin code? So Ashwin gets completely flummoxed. He goes, yeah, you know what? I've never written a letter to the stadium. How would I know? So just then, while he's thinking, his daughter pops her head in. Yeah, because she thought he's just chatting with a friend or shooting. So she comes and she goes, hi. And he's got the cutest daughters, right? So she comes and she goes, hi. So I said, hey, listen, we want to help your dad. So why don't you help your dad? Now, the answer is the pin code is 05, right? So she comes in from here and the answer, she goes, I said, yes, you're right, it's 5.
Nice.
I can hear Preeti laughing at the back. Ashwin is laughing. I'm laughing. This poor adorable child has no idea what's just happened. That was a cute moment.
And 6 seasons of Breakfast with Champions?
Yes, we've done 6 seasons. मजाक में बात काफी serious हो गई.
Correct. Yeah. So favorites again, favorites is the wrong word. Memorable ones in this season. Just throw out a few.
So I'll tell you some behind the scenes anecdotes of some funny stuff, right? So the most elusive person to get was Saurav Ganguly, right? And the reason is because Dada does 40 things at any given time. Dada shoots 100 days for his KBC Bengali. He's with a news channel. He runs a school. At that time he was running CAB. He has some business. He'll do speaking assignments. He'll do commentary. He'll do some consulting. It's impossible to pin Dada down. So we were doing commentary on the England tour. So we were there. We were in Manchester. We were going to London the next day. So we were on air. In the ad break, I turned to Dada and I said, Daddy, tomorrow morning, I'm coming to shoot with you. 2 years I've been trying to catch you. I know you're free tomorrow morning. I'm coming to the hotel. So he says, okay, come at 11. I said, okay. So we've shown up in London at the St. James Hotel, the Taj Hotel.
Yeah.
And Dada comes at guess what time?
I don't know.
11:01. Dada's perfect on time. Later we realized that actually Dada double booked the 11 o'clock slot. He was supposed to shoot one more thing. Their camera packed up. So we got him at sharp 11.
So man, as a sports broadcaster and an MC, VJ, all your various hats, what is the advice that you can give anybody who's watching this? Because, the post-lockdown world, the new normal, is kind of freaking a lot of people out. I mean, I know for a fact now that, if I charge X for voiceovers, it might be half X once we come out. And that is going to be the new normal till, things don't sort themselves out. So how are you approaching this as a sports entrepreneur as well as an anchor, which is both your hats?
Yes, so it's quite interesting. Both as so my career earlier used to be I was 2 different people. One as an entrepreneur and a producer, and one as a performer. As a performer, I had a certain sort of ego And not an ego, but just the fact that I've been in the business for 20 years. So there's a different sort of, there's a different branding and a standing that has happened there. Whereas as a producer and entrepreneur, I'm new. So it would literally be, I'd be two people on a call where somebody would call and say, we have a job for you, GK the professional. I'd be like, why don't you send me an email and I'll think about it. I'll consider it if it fits into my plan. And if I got one call as a producer, entrepreneur, kahan hai sir? Nina, batao na, kahan hai? Navi Mumbai, Pune, Japan, kahan hai? I'll come. Right? So I was anyway two people. I think now that person has become one person. When somebody calls for a campaign or something, I was like, how much do you have? It's fine. Take it. It's no problem. Right? So, but now jokes apart, listen, everybody will have to reevaluate their business model, right? And it's not just about the fee. First up, you have to reevaluate the product. And once the product changes, the pricing changes automatically. So everybody will have to change their product. And then there's a trade-off. There's a comfort and convenience. If I tell you, Hrishi, you only have to do 5 videos a day and you do them from home and you're going to do them between 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock. As opposed to saying, you need to do 5, but I can call you any time of the day or night. You will anyway price lesser for the first than for the second.
Correct.
So the factors change. So once the product that you're giving changes, and that's what I want people to think about, like people who are creative people, the post-apocalyptic world, as I'm trying to call it. I don't want to freak anyone out. Yeah, but the post-lockdown world will be different, obviously. There'll be a lot of things that will change. And I think first the change should come, the business change can come later. The first change that we should acknowledge as human beings, as emotional beings is, I think we all must realize that we never needed as much as we thought we needed, or as much as advertising and big corporates made us believe that we needed, right? We don't. We don't need to eat as much. We don't need to possess as much. We don't need as much fancy stuff. So I think that should be a good realization for the human race, saying goodness is more important than richness, right? Correct. Just make your life and your emotions rich rather than material possessions. So I think once we realize that, I think our stories will change. I think our creative products will change. I think how we execute them changes. And then we just realize once you need lesser, your ambition changes, your goals change. So a person who was aiming to earn 100 rupees every month will realize that once again, 70 is also not that bad. But in that 70, let me do things that I really want to do. So another thing in the lockdown is a lot of creative people are just doing things because they have nothing else to do. So let me give this a shot. Don't do it. Just take that time to reflect and think. Don't do something that you would not want to carry on in the post-lockdown, right? Because that will take away time that you could spend developing your primary skill for the post-lockdown time. So just get off the treadmill. Don't flay your limbs. Sit, think, reflect, and then come up with the new creative product.
That's great advice. So the interiors in your house, they're amazing, man. I see some Aussie boomerangs, some African blades or whatever they are, the masks.
Yeah, man.
Was it all you, or did you get a professional to come in and do it, man? So cool.
Bro, made by hand, yeah. This is another skill that I've learned during the lockdown. I've made this by hand. Ethically sourced bones from long dead roadkill animals in different parts of the world. And then I put them together. And that lamp that you see is pure gold. In fact, 24 karat gold. It's a set of 2. It's a set of 4 actually. 2 are here. 2 are in Papida's house. I send them to him. And he has 2, I have 2. And this plant, as you can see, I reached...
The best part of the house. That's the best part about the house.
Yeah, the plant, this is actually... this is Photoshop because it's actually a marijuana plant. But I made a traveler plant so that people don't get alarmed and don't call the police. I actually got this from Bob Marley's farmhouse there last year. It's crazy. Where are my stories going? What's going on? And yeah, but the true story is actually went hiking to the Amazon rainforest before they tore it all down, and and brought it as cabin baggage.
What's the first thing you're going to do when, if and when the lockdown is lifted? What's the very first thing you're going to do, man?
The first thing I'm going to do, stay at home.
Correct. He's going to go get crazy.
I want everyone who's watching to promise me. You have to promise me. The lockdown getting lifted is not India winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
You don't have to go on the street and start celebrating. Right? Just please be careful even after the lockdown is over. Just be careful. So the first thing I'm going to do after the lockdown is over is sit at home.
Well said. 100 hours, 100 stars shall continue. These are 100 big stars across diverse facets of life, and we bring them to you because we're supporting the PM Cares Fund. There is a QR code and a link that you see on the screen. Please scan the QR code or click on the link, fill in the details that you want to, the amount that you want to donate along with the details of your payment, and proceed to contribute. Gaurav Kapur.
Man, I want to tell people, you must contribute. We all, everybody bar none has something they can spare in their heart. If it's only a loaf of bread, that's fine as well.
Yeah.
But just insaniyat. I think insaniyat was one thing that we were missing. I think we've just become too brutal to, other human beings. So I think we should use this as, I say try to take out positive from every negative situation. So I think that positive should be that let's just do that, man. There's too much chopping other human beings, chopping trees, plants, rivers, pollution. Just stop, man. I heard birds the other day. I was like, what is this sound?
What is this sound? Yeah.
What is this sound? I don't know what it is. Tell me, Hrishi, what is the one household object you have not used at all?
No, I've used everything.
I'll tell you what I haven't used.
What?
Iron.
मैं तो करता हूँ इस्त्री यार.
Really?
Because this morning I took this out of my cupboard. I said, it's not looking very nice because the istri wala stopped coming a long time ago. So, stuff were getting washed and pulled out. So I did a basic one.
No, you're doing lockdown wrong. You're hiding your people doing lockdown wrong. And I hope you're not wearing full pants.
I am, my brother. Oh no, I can't tilt down. But
wearing full pants. I have not.
Just in your honor.
I'm not formal. You dress formally. I appreciate the effort. I have to tell you, Ankur Tiwari 2 days ago on a Sunday night, Ankur Tiwari video calls me, and he's wearing a white shirt and a black tie. He's dressed like Bruce Springsteen. I was like, are you okay? What's happened? Why are you dressed like this? Were you doing a performance or something? He says, no, the performance I did in a shirt. Then after that, I was just feeling a little low, so I decided to wear a tie and sit down and video call all my friends. Brother,
Classic Tiwari. Yeah.
I don't understand. All my friends have gone completely loco. Cyrus Saukar has decided that one day a week, he's going to sit and chop all the vegetables that he has, put them in Ziploc bags and put them in the freezer. So every morning he just has to wake up, take out one bag and then cook that.
Management skills, brother.
I'm just not understanding what's going on with people. Roshan Abbas is doing 17 webinars a day.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He looks on his computer every day, right? And he's just like, this just calls people. कौन है? कुछ क्या बोलना है? Event business? Okay, ready. Podcasting? Okay, ready. Storytelling? Okay, ready. Entrepreneurship? He just, it's like the Matrix keep changing the disc and just giving gyan to people. All the time. मैंने कहा भाई family के साथ बैठ जा थोड़ी देर.
GK, you're a good man. God bless you, Gaurav. See you soon.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you for being a big brother in my early radio days and for guiding me and teaching me all the devious things I learned about radio.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah. And of course, for the roof that you provided over my head when I came to Mumbai for the first time visiting. These things I'm always grateful for. Always remember where you came from. So always remember that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Anytime. Love you. Bye. See you.
Take care. Bye.